This episode of The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast Extra Take, is sponsored by, well, of course, all of you amazing patrons. Thank you for your support, and without it, we wouldn't be able to do this. Now, on with the show. Hey everyone, welcome into the Arena Extra Take. It's our show where we talk about video games and give a little bit of a review. It goes up to Patreon for the first 2 days on patreon.com/thearena_podcast. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burly of BurlyMenGaming on Twitch for the Arena multi-platform gaming news podcast. Burly, how you doing, man?
Doing good. A little tired because I pulled a long stream yesterday, and my body's telling me, "Boy, you shouldn't have did
that." Yeah. It's like almost 7 a.m. Burly's time over there in Canada, where for me it's about 8 p.m. in the evening here in Japan. So Burly's a little tired, I'm sure. Yeah. So. Yeah. Okay. So this episode 9, we're going to be talking about Metroid Dread. So, Burly, you've finished it. I'm still in the early stages of this game, I have to admit, because I was playing some other games to talk about on the podcast, but you actually finished this game during your live streams. And you gave us some video footage of this, and we're going to be looking at this from now. So, let's take it away and look at this footage, and let's talk about Metroid Dread. So what can you tell us in the beginning here?
Okay, so in the beginning here of the footage I gave, you'll see I start running out, but then I'll pause and I go through and I have the menu open showing you the different categories of your different beams, your different missiles, your Aeon abilities, your suit, all that, because I just wanted to show, just in case, like, I believe I went through and used everything I could, but at least this way gives you a kind of an idea of what you get. You've got your standard kind of power sets from your if you're a Metroid fan, you'll know, and you go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But there are a few new things, like storm missiles, that you may not know of, that are unique to the game.
Yeah.
And
as ice missiles and things like that, yeah.
Yeah,
really cool.
Ice missiles came from Fusion.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and as we see here, of course, Samus jumping and,
like, attack.
Yes, and flipping around the walls like a pinball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that was difficult for me when I first started, because this was the first Metroid game that I ever played, and getting used to the mechanics of jumping and bouncing up the walls like a pinball, that was a little bit difficult for me in the beginning, but I started to get used to it more. So, yeah. So, tell us a little bit more, Burly. From the beginning of the game, how does the difficulty level in this game spike?
Oh, this is not one of those Metroidvania games as you get farther, it kind of gets a little bit easier. The beginning of the game's not too bad difficulty-wise. It's pretty, I would say, if you're new, pretty friendly. It can get difficult, don't get me wrong, but it's pretty good at being fair to you at the beginning. But as this game goes on, the challenge spikes. Like, you do feel like you're getting powerful, more powerful. But these bosses, as I said before, you need to set, if you get into a boss, you need to set aside the time to fight it, because a lot of these bosses, it took me in the case of one boss, which wasn't the final, took me 3.5 hours.
Wow. Yeah, and I want to read kind of a review here from Polygon.com from Russ Frushtick. And I think you're going to agree with what he has to say here, Burly, about the boss battles. He says, Metroid Dread has around a half dozen major boss fights and twice as many mini-bosses. The latter are tough but manageable, frequently featuring returning enemies with slightly modified mechanics. But the major boss fights, holy cow, they don't mess around. These multi-phase battles require near perfection, with a mistimhead jump or rocket leading to an instant restart. In one of the mid-game fights, I counted no fewer than 7 different attack patterns, one of which could be best described as Flappy Bird meets Metroid. Shit gets wild.
Oh yeah, and I can easily agree with that. And one thing I wanted to mention here, because you see the amount of missiles I had at the beginning there, 130 something.
Yeah.
33 missiles.
Yeah.
You, even with that, because the second phase for the final boss, you have to pump, like, you want to pump missiles. Missiles do more damage than your charge beam.
Yeah.
If you run it, and I ran out of missiles during that second phase, make sure you have, I think it's about 140 missiles. Like, because I originally did that fight with 110 missiles. And I ran out, and I just couldn't damage it enough with my beam to get to the next phase.
Yeah.
So you need, like, the final fight, make sure you go back. I didn't backtrack as much as I should, but do your backtracking.
Yeah. Now, we talked about this a little bit during the podcast. So all of you listeners and viewers out there, episode 60 of the Arena Multi-Platform Gaming News podcast is up now live on free podcast services, as well as on Patreon and our YouTube channels, Expat YouTube Gaming and the Arena Citadel channels. So, Burly, if someone has never played a Metroid game before, would you recommend this to play now, or should players go back and play the previous Metroid titles?
Do not make this your first Metroid. Go back, play Super or Fusion or Zero Mission.
Okay.
Either one of those ones are a little more balanced in the difficulty to get you used to this. I think you'll have that way you can grasp mechanics and get a little bit used to it. The game is good for, though, if you do make this your first, it will do a decent job of plot catching you up of what's kind of going on in the story. Like, I've heard hit and miss on reviews. I really did enjoy the story. Like, you get a lot with the character of Adam,
right?
And you do get Samus and Adam's interactions, and you'll have other characters you'll meet. So
yeah, we're looking at these maps here. And you're going through the maps, and it seems like one of the tips that they give in this game is to look at the maps a lot, to make use of them. What can you say about that? About the maps?
Yeah, you definitely, quite a bit of the footage I do go to the maps, but as you can see, like in some of it, like I think it's at like the around 2-minute 40-something minute mark there, you'll see me looking at hovering over certain kind of blocks, and if you hover over them, and if you have the power to break them, it'll tell you use screw attack blocks, so that way you know, hey, that's what I need to break them. And they're also different, like for the different blocks, they have them different color coded and stuff like that, so you can understand of what do I need to do.
Yeah, that's what, when I first started playing it, the color coding, was something that I had to learn, about in the beginning of the game. So, So making it clear where to go, and like, for example, doors that are blocked by blue glow, for example, you're going to need a weapon with that associated color, so to speak, to be able to get through. And in this game, I mean, there are so many breakable objects too.
Oh yeah,
You know,
this game has a lot of exploring and stuff. But one of the things I do like is as you come across items that you find you cannot get, it keeps it on your map saying that there's a missile tank or an energy tank or whatever item you come across that's on your map, and it never goes away. But it also, once you've collected that item, it'll stay on your map, and it'll say like missile tank acquired. It'll say beside it, so you know you've gotten it.
Yeah.
So that way you have. So that way, if you're following a guide to try one of those map guides to try and see if you've gotten everything, and you get everything, you know you got that missile tank. You don't have to spend 5 minutes, go down that hole, all that way over there, and find out, oh shit, I already have that. Because like some games don't give you that option.
Right. And this is not a linear game, too, right? I mean, you can go all the way back to the beginning of the map and to certain areas, all the way back to the beginning to find certain things, right? I mean, that's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, you can. As you get power ups, you can go back. There is a certain part in the story that you are locked from going back, and you have to just go press on forward, go the way they want you to go.
Yeah.
But for the most part, as soon as you get a power up, you can go back to previous areas and go get through. Go get your different goodies and different more power ups. But one of the new mechanics that they added in this game, and it's in the footage, I think around the 3-minute mark, is when you'll see me fighting the one enemy, is the counterattack system. Now, this system, you really have to get used to it. At the beginning, not so much.
Yeah.
But near the end game, you like if you can't get the counterattack system down, you cannot beat the final boss.
So now you're referring to parrying in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get that little spark kind of flash on the screen there, and you have to use the X button and counter. You have to get that down.
Yeah. And what would you what kind of advice, Burly, would you give to gamers out there that are listening or viewing this and they haven't played Metroid, they haven't played Metroid Dread, and they start to play and they encounter the EMMIs? What would be your advice for gamers that are encountering the EMMIs?
The MMIs,
Run.
those things, yeah. Well, run is good and bad, but I unfortunately can't show them off because once you beat the game, they're gone.
Okay.
But the MMIs, you need to have patience in those zones. I died so many times in those zones against those things because they are instant kills. You can parry them.
Yeah.
But your timing has to be, you have to have that perfect and down pat. And it's not easy to have, but one of the things you will get later on, I show in the footage, is this invisibility power up. You push the right thumbstick in, you go invisible. You have that little meter that's drained as you move or jump. You can't move as fast or jump as fast, but it's because you're trying to be stealthy.
Right.
It'll slowly drain. If you let it keep going, it will start draining your health drastically and your energy tanks.
I see.
So you really have to watch that. But for like the EMMIs, take your time, learn the map as you go, and because you're gonna die. Learn the map, learn the area and environment, because you're gonna have to sit there and learn that environment. Slowly learn what paths, because not only do you need to learn it just to get through it, but once you usually go down their corridors and go through their section, you'll eventually reach to the little mini boss. I think it's Ringu or Ringa from the classic Metroid game. You got to kill that, and you get what is called the Omega Beam.
Yeah.
So you can kill the EMMIs. Those you have to then go back to that area where the EMMIs are. Give yourself enough space to charge the beam and hit it.
Yeah.
Like the first one, it's not so bad, but later ones, they have a faceplate shielding, so you have to use the Omega beam as like a machine gun to break that. Get enough, you got to consistently hit that. Then you're going to want to dodge, run to another area, and then charge the beam part itself.
Yeah. So what can you tell us about the teleporters throughout this game?
The teleporters, you're going to use them to find your little secrets and find your next plot way. Mm-hmm. And that's how you get allotted to the other sectors at first of this planet, and that way you can explore more. But the nice thing is once you get far enough in the game, once you've gotten all the teleporters, you can pick on the map which teleporter you go to.
Okay, so Burly, some final questions here. So overall, how would you rate this? I mean, I know during the podcast, some previous episodes, you were talking about after Metroid Dread first came out that you were kind of disappointed that there's no real voice acting in this game. I mean, this is just kind of a general view of how Nintendo looks at the Metroid series, I guess. But, how do you feel about that? And kind of tell us some of the things that you wish that were in Metroid Dread that were not in it, in a kind of non-spoilerish way.
Okay, well, this is going to give a little spoiler. There is voice acting.
Okay.
It just doesn't come till way later in the game. And I wish for the opening, because you get a giant text plot dump, and that's for people that either you have played Fusion back when it came out in like 2004, so it's been X amount of years. Or this is your first Metroid, you're coming into the series, they want to make sure you're prepared. But like Nintendo, I wish would just invest more into voice acting. Like I still don't get this that we're 2021 and some of their franchises they're like so like you don't have to have Samus be reading this, because you could make this as Adam, make a voice for Adam, because he is an AI recording, right, so you can make any voice and it'd be fine, and you could mess with it, kind of make it computer sounding just to make it, right? But
okay, another question
for some
you.
Other things I would like to see. I would like difficulty options, because you know what? Sometimes not everyone likes the giant. This game is a little too hard for beginner friendly people, and there's nothing wrong with giving people options to play that just want to go through and have a fun little experience.
Okay. Yeah. Now, where does the series go from here? I mean, are we expecting the next Prime part of Metroid to be coming next? What do you predict?
Well, I think we'll get Prime 4 within a couple of years. I know years ago they said they had to restart the whole development. Who the hell knows? Like, Nintendo is so tight-lipped about that.
Right.
We know nothing of Prime 4. I would imagine Prime 4 is probably at least 2 years away at a minimum. I don't think we'll see it. The only 2D Metroid game I think we would see is Nintendo redoing Super, because they redid the first game. They redid the second game on the 3DS a few years back. So I would imagine if need be, they would remake the third Super Metroid just as we have something. There you go, Metroid fans. Every 10 years we'll give you something.
Right. Let me throw you one last question, Burly. Is this going to be Nintendo's Game of the Year? What do you think?
Yeah.
Game of the Year 2021, Metroid Dread.
Yeah, I kind of have to think.
There's long pauses there.
Well, because I'm trying to remember what else has come for Nintendo this year, and like what we have left is Pokemon,
right?
And Yeah, that nothing against it. I love Pokemon. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
and that's just a remake. So,
Right.
as new games of the year, I would say this is your Nintendo game of the year.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like
we'll see.
it
And it's
does have a
probably
lot
going to
of
be nominated for sure. Yeah. So,
it'll be nominated, but
right.
I don't think this will be. You know how like Hades won some awards and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna beat Ratchet. Like this won't beat Ratchet and Clank. This
Right.
won't beat some of the other games this year. But it is a damn fine game, and if you are a Metroid fan,
Yeah.
I highly recommend picking it up. If you're looking at like what you see, but you've never played a Metroid game, Nintendo has put out a demo. I don't know what the demo was like, but just note this game you have to have patience and have to have good frustration management, or you will it will take you a long time. Trust me. If you watch my streams, you know.
Yeah, so probably this is a game that, like I said, I'm still in the early stages of it, and I really want to continue it. But with all the other games that have been coming out, I put it to the side. But I really want to get back to it. But just from what you said right there, frustration management, that's probably what I have to worry about, I think. But yeah, I really want to get back to it, and it's what I've played of it so far is fantastic. So yeah. Okay, so thank you so much, Burly, and that is our extra take look at Metroid Dread. So we want to thank you all you viewers and listeners, and of course, this episode will go to Patreon in early access for the first 2 days for patrons at patreon.com/thearena_podcast. So any of you out there that are considering coming and supporting us over on Patreon, please come check out all of our content there. We got a ton of content. And if this will also go to, after 2 days, to our YouTube channels at Expat YouTube Gaming and the Arena Citadel channels. So please, check out this episode when it comes. Look out for it. And we'll be posting it in social media and everything when it drops. So, yeah. So thank you so much again, Burly, like I said. And I've been your host,
Thank you for having me.
Yep. And we hope to catch you in the next episode of Extra Take. So thank you so much. And we hope to catch you next time. Peace out.